Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the K12 Sports Tech AD Think Tank on the Educational AD Podcast. We're going to be right back with this week's Think Tank guest, but as always, we want to give a shout out to all of our great sponsors. So take 3 minutes, listen to these shout outs, then listen to our interview, then go and visit these sponsors. I'm telling you, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to say thanks to our good friends at K12 Sports Tech, athletic directors. It's a great opportunity for you to give your input, get paid, and make an impact on the industry. And for vendors, you've got an opportunity to have your products vetted and reviewed by athletic directors that can help you sell more. The emerging school sports tech world is constantly changing, and K12 Sports Tech helps ADs and vendors connect and realize their potential through consulting programs, through leadership and insights, and by creating an ecosystem of leaders and resources for the school athletic space. For more information, go to K12sportstech.com. Whether you're an athletic director or a sports vendor, you need to be a member of K12 Sports Tech. We also want to say thanks to our friends at Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. You can schedule a live web demo to see their products in action. You've heard me say many times, probably one of the best purchases I ever made as an AD was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Schedule that live web demo today. We also want to thank our friends at Huddle. You know, as a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but as an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. And our coaches, our student athletes, even our parents just love the platform. Go to huddle.com, join the millions of users, and turn your school into a Huddle school. That's huddle.com. We also want to thank Home Campus. Home Campus is a platform you're going to use every day for things like scheduling, rosters, results, communication, facilities. Home Campus does all of these things better and does it faster than the other platforms. Did I mention athletic eligibility and clearance? That one alone is a game changer. Go to homecampus.com for more information. And as always, make sure you mention the Educational AD Podcast. We'd like to thank Vital Signs Wall of Fame along with Beacon Creative, their content creation service. Wall of Fame's been helping schools bring their legacy to life for over a decade, but content creation takes it to a whole new level. Wall of Fame's writers are going to take your history, your students, your coaches, and turn those stories into compelling narratives that you can then post on social media. You really got to see it to believe it. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com and click on Content Services. You're going to be glad you did. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to thank our friends at Gipper. Gipper is the modern marketing platform that makes it easy for athletic directors to turn your programs into internet destinations. Make them look Division I. Make them look professional without hiring extra staff. Gipper is used and trusted by over 20,000 high school and college programs, and it's professional graphic design made easy. Go ahead and create your social media content, share it, and schedule it all on one simple platform. And that platform is Gipper. Go to Gipper.com to get started. We also want to say thanks to Booster Hub, the #1 booster club software program. Things like sponsorship fees, concession sales, all of it flows through their secure system. Volunteer signups, volunteer changes. You know it's going to happen. Nothing falls through the cracks. Everybody stays connected and secure. Give your boosters the platform they need. Give them the platform they deserve. That's Booster Hub. Go to boosterhub.com to get started. We want to say thanks to Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Now, I didn't get my master's through the Ohio program, but my assistant athletic director did, along with thousands of others. And while they were all earning their degree, they also completed 11 and IAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. We also want to say thanks to Hometown. Hometown continues to be a leader in education-based athletics with their suite of solutions that includes things like digital ticketing, of course, but how about athletic website construction, fee-free fundraising? Their list just goes on and on. Whether you're a principal, an athletic director, even a head coach, Hometown is going to show you how to save time. It's going to show you how to save more money, and it's going to show you how to bring your entire community together. You'll find it all at hometown.com. That's hometown.com. And finally, we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. At my school, we use surveys for just about everything, for student athletes, for coaches, and for parents. And the information that came back on these surveys, almost always over the top positive, and it'll be the same for you. You also get to hear from your squeaky wheel parents, but the surveys allow you to hear their concerns, usually address them before they turn into something big. But getting back to that positive data, that's incredibly valuable, especially if you're visiting with a frustrated parent, maybe your principal, sometimes even your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. athleticsurveys.com. And once again, make sure you mention you heard about it on the Educational AD Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the K12 Sports Tech AD Think Tank on the Educational AD Podcast. If you're new to this program, K12 Sports Tech is one of our great sponsors. It's a company that I think is unique in this space and just does such a great job. Joining us from K12 Sports Tech is their COO, Alec Brown. We're also joined today by John Wiley. Longtime listeners of the podcast certainly recognize that name. John's a certified master athletic administrator. He's the director of athletics at the Overlake School, and that's in the great state of Washington. Alec, we'll start with you. Welcome back. It's been a while to the Educational AD Podcast.
Yeah, Jake, thanks very much for having me. Great to be back.
And John, again, you've been on this many times, but it's been a while. Always good to catch up with you again. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. How's things going in the great state of Washington?
It's great. Far from Florida, though, Jake. But it's doing great, and it's springtime. So as an AD, I'm on the road going to state tournaments. There's nothing better. We're making our annual return to the Pacific Northwest in August. We spent time in Washington and Oregon. Always great to go back there. Alec, let's go and start with you. I always think it's important for our listeners, even if they're veteran listeners, to hear about our guests. Try to put a face with a voice or a background with them. As I love to say, give our listeners your life story in 90 seconds.
Absolutely, yeah. So I am a former AD. Started my career in education in Chicago as an English teacher. Worked at a school that was brand new and happened to not offer any sports to the students there at the school. So I walked to my principal's office one day and asked if I could start a sports program, and that led me on a path to this world that I had no intentions of getting into originally, but it's been tremendously fulfilling. And I was able to be the AD at that school for quite a while, establish the program. And then I went on to run an organization called Beyond Sports Foundation, which helped student athletes from the Chicago area prepare for life after sports. Worked with a lot of high school and college athletes there. And then met Abby Emerson, who's the founder of K12, and just really, really believed in her mission. And it's been a ride ever since. We've been at this about 3 years, grown our think tank to about 900 members, and really, I think, had a positive impact on how ADs use tech and how technology companies get feedback and insights on what they want to build for specifically for school sports programs.
And again, for our listeners, we're going to take a deeper dive into all things K12 Sports Tech, but go to the website, check it out. I encourage you to become a member. It doesn't cost anything. Become an athletic director member of the K12 Sports Tech AD think tank. And as I mentioned earlier, I think it's unique in our space for the services that they provide, not just for athletic directors, but also for sport vendors. John, same question to you. Go ahead and let our listeners know, the John Wiley origin story.
Okay. Thanks, Jake, for having me on. Born and raised in Seattle, and went off to the Midwest for college, came back and started working in the NBA for our dearly departed Seattle Supersonics for a few years, and realized that, yeah, I love sports. I always did as a kid. I played them growing up, but I didn't necessarily have to be in the professional ranks. And then I started coaching high school basketball at my old school. And next thing you know, I was the head coach. And then it was a couple of years later, they asked me to jump in the AD ranks. And I've been there for about 3 decades, and really enjoyed every step of the way. And I think for the most part, it's a job that is fulfilling. There certainly are big challenges in it, especially for some of my friends who are big district directors or big public school ADs. I think I'm in the sweet spot. Smaller school, about 90 kids in our graduating class, and in a private school, I have a little less bureaucracy to deal with, and I'm very fortunate to be in this profession in this school.
And yeah, I love how you mentioned, Seattle Supersonics. I'm a little bit older than you, but growing up, in the Portland area, I remember those rivalry games between the Blazers and the Sonics, and some of those great Sonic names: Freddie Brown, Slick Watts, Sean Kemp, Detlef Shrimp, and the greatest Supersonic of all, Kevin Garnett. Okay, people don't realize that.
Well, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, yeah, not Garnett, yeah, Kevin Durant.
It's okay.
Yeah,
and I miss Maurice Lucas and Bill Walton, so that's we're even.
Great days. All right, let's talk K12 Sports Tech. First of all, Alec, I'm going to kind of give a setup here, and you correct me if I'm wrong. The K12 Sports Tech, you have 2 groups that you really cater to. One, of course, is athletic directors through the think tank, and it's a networking opportunity for ADs, which I am huge for. Anytime I think we can connect ADs to each other so they can share best practices, share the challenges that they're facing. But you also allow athletic directors the opportunity to be paid, that's right, paid consultants as they get involved with and review various sports vendors, equipment, uniforms, you name it. Also, part of the K12 Sports Tech is your vendor directory, where these vendors can get involved and be vetted by actual athletic directors, so that somebody looking for a product, they don't have to wonder, well, is this something I want? Is this going to be a good fit for me? They can actually see reviews from athletic directors who are part of the think tank that are posted in the vendor directory. Did I do a good job of summarizing that?
Yeah, awesome job. Yeah, so we are a consulting and resource hub that essentially connects ADs with sports tech vendors in the space. Our AD think tank is an opportunity for ADs to be compensated for their feedback on emerging tech that's coming in the industry. So to date, we've done hundreds and hundreds of calls between ADs and tech vendors, where ADs are given an outlet to give feedback on how they believe these tools should be innovated for the future. We've seen amazing results. We've seen all the tech companies that we worked with made positive changes and improvements to their platforms to make them more accessible and better problem solvers for all different types of school programs. So that's really why we formed. We saw those gaps in the space, and we wanted to fill them. And we've done a really good job, I think, of introducing ADs in the think tank to new tech over the course of the last 3 years since we've been up and running. And one thing you alluded to is the networking opportunities and sort of the professional development opportunities for ADs. That's a big goal for us moving forward. We want to get better at that. We've got a really kind of a tight-knit network of ADs, and we want to help them learn from each other. So we've just completed something that we call Meet at the 50, which is a workshop series that we did in March and April to bring ADs together with vendors to solve some of the real world challenges that we're all experiencing in the industry. We're culminating that event with an in-person gathering in Chicago in July. So a big push on our end to do more of that and do more of that type of work and provide opportunities for our ADs outside of the consulting projects that we offer for them as well.
Yeah, I want to touch on that later in the show. I want to go back to the whole consulting thing because again, I think it's nobody else is doing this, and it's a great opportunity for ADs to maybe take a deeper dive into a piece of athletic tech. And again, you get paid for this. You're not going to be, going out and buying a new Ford pickup. But literally just yesterday, my wife said, "Hey, we got another deposit from K12 Sports Tech. Did you do a project?" So yeah, you do get paid for it. John, I want you to share, if you would, some of your experiences in the consulting end. Now, you're a full-time AD. Okay, you've got all the jobs that our listeners have, and yet this is something that you can easily work into your schedule. And I think you've done quite a few consulting projects. Can you share a little bit with our listeners about how it all works?
Sure. It's pretty easy to sign up. It takes you all about 5 minutes, and then Alec eventually will send you an email saying, "Hey, thanks a lot, and we've got a company that would like to hear from you as a consultant." And then and they ask me, "Hey, what's convenient for my schedule?" Which seems great. And we pick a acceptable time, and it's usually, I can usually meet within a couple of days. I'll do it on my lunch hour. I'll do it when I have a little bit of time, but it's only really, about half hour, 45 minutes, where you are talking usually with this company's, the owner of the company or the lead salesperson or what have you. And it's not like a normal vendor call. They're not trying to hotbox you into buying something right now. What they're asking for is they give a presentation of their product or service, and then they spend time saying, "Hey, what did you," and especially with a follow-up survey, which takes all of about 5 or 10 minutes, what things resonated with you? What things do you not feel are applicable in your situation? It's information gathering for them, but at the same time, as an AD, I would much rather have my calls like this. The companies involved are really first rate, and Alec, credit to you guys. You really do your homework on these people and these companies, and they're great to work with. And so I have taken many calls. I've signed up a little more than I thought. At first it was just, "Hey, I'll just let them know what I feel." But whether it's, the helmet tracker or many others I could list, we have gone on and set up agreements with some of these companies, and I can't thank you enough, because they really, I think it's tech, right? I'm not the techiest person in the world, but it's stuff I can easily handle. And it's really been good for our community in many ways.
Yeah, and again, for our listeners, these are not, as John said, they're not sales pitches. It's in many cases, the owner of the company that's asking you as an AD, "What do you think? How can we make our product better? How can we market it better?" And, Alec, you probably got a bunch of stories, but I love the ones that you shared before, how companies have, maybe they initially were kind of a one-size-fits-all, and after talking to ADs, they came up with different levels, different approaches for small school, big school. And my favorite, absolutely, is the company that after listening to the ADs, they actually changed the name of their product because that was the feedback they got from ADs.
Yeah. So the thing that I've seen the most, and it's overwhelmingly positive, is the companies coming in with one mindset on pricing, and then talking to ADs from different types of programs and different types of schools, and then totally revamping their pricing model so that they have multiple offerings, and they're just finding ways to make it more accessible for all different types of programs, because we know budgets vary tremendously across the board, in schools. And then the famous kind of story is Helmet Trackers actually still kind of working on redeveloping their name, but they learned very quickly that people thought their tool was strictly for football programs, and it's not. It's a complete inventory management tool that John will tell you can help just about any school program out there. And so they're making a name change, and we've surveyed our think tank members on what they think it should be, and so it's still a work in progress, but it's a great story.
Now, John, back to you. You mentioned Helmet Tracker. What are some of the other companies that you've done these consulting calls with?
Yeah, I think Helmet Tracker was the first, and good move on changing the name, because our favorite part of that program is just being able to put in labels and into uniforms, and we've gotten so much back. We have so much. Our numbers are so much better as far as being able to track and down uniforms all over our entire program. So also worked with Hite, H-I-T-E. It's a software company that does a lot of mental training. We know that especially post-pandemic, we know how important mental skills are to athletes, and we wanted to get into it in a way that we thought would work with kids. So, this is a program they can do on their phone, 5 to 7 minutes a week, and the coach can look at it and figure out how much sleep they're getting, how they're eating, how they feel about their performance, what they're confident in, what they're not confident in. A lot of really big steps for our programs, and they've been great, because they really seek to figure out where they can improve the product. So they've had updates, and it's been good. Ballfrog is a app, right? And there's a lot of apps out there. We really like Ballfrog. The support was fantastic. We have it. Now if I need to look up if I need a roster, if I need a schedule, if I need all those things that we normally hit with a website or what have you, it's really convenient. It's really good branding, and our community really loves it. So Ballfrog, we have worked with Flash Weather AI, weather. There's a lot going on with weather. It's not just the 30-30 rule anymore, right? You need to know what the most accurate weather is, especially in parts of the country like yours, Jake, where lightning's no joke, So, but at first we met with them. They wanted to sell us the whole package, and we came back saying, we can't really afford that. And then, within a few months, they kind of got the message from schools through K12 that, let's let people stick their toe in a little bit at a smaller price point. That means a lot to us, because it also lets us build some trust in them, and then we can expand from there. And there's I would say there's some we're talking with that we're really excited about. There's some we've met with that we just couldn't put it together as far as like the product was good and all that, but we had a budget and we were off by a little bit and we had to go a different direction. But they were great to work with, and they completely understood. One I'm really psyched about right now is IMG Elevate. I almost don't want to say that in case there's members of my conference listening, because they're going to wonder what's going on over there at Overlay. I think IMG Elevate is, we're all pretty familiar with IMG, and the fact that they're moving out into the high school space and offering some of their programs, whether it's mental training, whether it's nutrition, go on down the line, all these things in a really deliverable format in videos. My coaches are ecstatic. We're really excited, and Kim Brewer over there does a great job. So those are most of them.
Well, and again, all of those and more are available for you as a listener when you join the K12 Sports Tech AD Think Tank. That's K12sportstech.com. Check them out. Alec, you mentioned earlier that in addition to the think tank and the vendor directory, you've also been doing some stuff with professional development for athletic directors and leaders. And, I was, blessed to be a part of that, this spring. Can you talk a little bit about how the Meet at the 50 developed, how it has kind of progressed, and now your culminating activity, Meet at Home Plate, coming up in July?
Yeah, and thanks to you, Jake and John, for being a part of the Meet at the 50 series. We talked late last year about putting together a workshop series where we could get ADs and vendors in the same room, or at least in the same virtual room, to tackle some of the real world challenges that ADs are facing every day. We came up with 4 topics. We did 8 different sessions. It was all virtual. It was session A of each topic was designed to sort of identify the challenges and get ADs talking to each other from different parts of the country, to sort of just brainstorm on what their challenges are and how they're dealing with them. One of the best pieces of feedback I got was just from people saying it's really nice to know that I'm not the only one dealing with this. I'm not alone in this. So it's not just your neighbor's school with us anymore. It's ADs from all over the country that are able to network together. Then in April we did session B's, and the overwhelming sort of result of that was that ADs need playbooks. ADs need playbooks to handle these challenges. So that's something we're actively working on now, and I don't want to give too much away, but we're developing a playbook generator to help ADs in our think tank and ADs from all over the country with some of these challenges that they face on a daily basis. And our culminating event where we're going to kind of unveil that is in Chicago. It's July 16th. It's at Wrigley Field. It's a really cool location. There may be some baseball involved as well. We've got Cubs tickets and tours of Wrigley Field. So we're really excited about it. I know I'll give out my contact info at the end of the show, Jake, so anyone can reach out to me if they're interested in attending.
Let's go and do that now for both of you guys. If somebody wants to find out more, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, for me, email is the best way. Alec, ALEC, at K12sportstech.com. Also, feel free to visit our website, K12sportstech.com. But if you email me, I promise to get back to you right away.
Okay. And John, if our listeners wanted to reach out and connect with you, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, especially those in my state of Washington. If you want more information about K12, I'd love to help you through the process. My email is jwiley at overlake, overlake.org.
Okay. Alec, you mentioned Abby Emerson, the founder of K12 Sports Tech, your partner with this. As you've seen the platform grow, and you talked about 900 members, I guess there's a little promotion. Who's going to be member 1,000? What are some things that you're most proud of, and where do you see the platform going in 2027?
Yeah, so we're at 900 members now. We are hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of the summer, so we're looking to do that. So please reach out to me to sign up. It seems like just yesterday where we did our race to our 500th members, so now we're already going to double that, which is great. The experience has been good. What tells me that it's working is just hearing from guys like John and their experience and the impact that it's had on their program. So that's how I know we want to keep doing this and keep building on it. I think what you'll see more of is more Meet at the 50 style events from us, whether they're in person, virtual, where we can truly problem solve together. ADs from all over, large and small programs, can get together and problem solve and help make their jobs, the industry itself, and the experience for student athletes better.
Okay. John, from your initial, hey, K12 Sports Tech, what is this? When you first found out about it to now where you're, fully invested as a member of the think tank, also as a contributor, how have you seen your, I guess, your experience grow in the time you've been a member?
Well, it's actually it took off for us. I'd heard of K12. I didn't get the whole process, but it was really easy to get involved. And I think after that initial meeting, I thought, okay, this isn't a hustle. This is a really good company that's putting together, that's doing a lot of work so that we don't have to, right? I mean, they're bringing quality companies to schools because we all get emails every day from somebody who wants to sell you. We just won a golf championship yesterday. Great for our girls. Awesome. I got the email of, hey, you got to buy championship rings. You won the golf tournament. Like there's a lot of hustlers to ADs. These guys are not. K12 is somebody who's really truly partnering with you. And, for example, credit to Alec. He came out to our state conference and we got to work the booth for a couple of days but it was great. And he cares, and my friends who are ADs, I drag them by the booth, and within about 5 minutes they got it. They figured it out, they signed up, and a lot of them have already contacted me saying, this is great, I'm getting paid to actually give my feedback. If you work in a school, that doesn't happen a whole lot. So it's great to get involved, really to make an impact, and it's just been first class the whole way. And those meet at the 50s. Jake, I know you're probably on board with some of those. Those are great meetings. It's one thing to be able to network locally with your league or your district or even your state, but to be able to hop on calls and work together. I think we were doing some work on emergency plans and student well-being, things like this, and hearing from people in Michigan or Wisconsin or New York, whether they're school ADs or district ADs, and some of the challenges they have, some resonate with me right off the bat, and others are like, wow, you guys really have, when you're trying to speak a language to your people and you still have to get it by your your school board. I mean, those are amazing challenges. And I think just by getting together, we all learned a little bit, and we all, made at least our project, we felt was a pretty good one for people.
Yeah. No, and you're absolutely right. And again, we hear this all the time. It's a myth, but it's true. We talk about the athletic director can sometimes feel like, they're on an island, they're by themselves because they're the only one in their building that is the AD. But the opposite of that is true because of resources like K12 Sports Tech. You have a network of people that are going through exactly the same challenges and some of the great things that you talked about a championship golf team, that you can share those experiences and share the solutions and those best practices, share those tools, if you will. So, appreciate what both of you do. Let's go and give out that contact information one more time. Once again, the website, K12sportstech.com. Alec, if somebody wants to reach out directly to you, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, email Alec, ALEC, at K12sportstech.com.
And John, one more time for you.
J. Wiley, WILEY, at overlake.org. And I'll vouch for Alec. He is incredibly responsive as I have a lot of questions, and he gets back to me quickly.
Yeah, the turnaround time is outstanding. Well, gentlemen, thanks as always for everything you do in this space. Keep on leading, and looking forward to the next K12 Sports Tech AD Think Tank segment.
All right. Thank you, Jake.
For listeners, just a reminder, we upload the Zoom recordings of every interview that we do to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do this feature just as often as we can, and just about every day we try to share stories and best practices from the world of athletics. So please come back and join us again on the next K12 Sports Tech AD Think Tank on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Hey, real quick before we go, want to give a shout out to our sponsors, including K12 Sports Tech. That's K12sportstech.com. If you're not a member of the AD Think Tank, you should be. And if you're a vendor, check out their vendor directory. Let's say thanks to Booster Hub, the #1 booster club software program. That's boosterhub.com. Home Campus, they do
scheduling, rosters, results, eligibility. They do it better and they do it faster than the other platforms. Check out homecampus.com. Athletic surveys by LifeTrack. If you're not using a survey to take the pulse of your school stakeholders, you're really missing out. It's athleticsurveys.com. We want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame and Beacon Creative. Thank you to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. We want to thank Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Let's say thanks to Hometown. Go to hometown.com. Want to thank Gipper. You'll find them at gipper.com. And Huddle. You'll find them at huddle.com. Thanks as always for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.